This video is to help explain to you how to do physical assignment number 11 called wave simulation. You're going to be using a website to look at a wave, and you can have a lot of fun with this, but you do have to answer some questions, so I know you actually did the assignment. So when you come in here, please again put a real email address, put your full name so you can get credit, and then click on this link right here. So go to this website, and it's going to direct you over to here to this simulation from the University of Colorado, and it has to do with playing with a wave. This one's kind of fun. Watch. You can make waves. Okay, but before we do that, let's look at the assignment. So it says to set the oscillator to oscillate mode. Okay, so let's put on oscillate. You'll watch it just go. It's making its own waves. Kind of cool. You can play with this. You're going to want to turn your rulers on. So click this little button, make the rulers pop on. You're going to be using those. And just let it go. Kind of fun, right? Definitely a wave. This is, again, a mechanical wave because it's going through matter. It's making matter move. And it's a transverse wave because a longitudinal wave looks like a slinky. And this definitely does not look like a slinky. Okay. So it says to set this up, make sure the oscillator has a fixed end. It does. Now to do that, that's over here in the top corner. Notice it says fixed, it says loose, that's a loose end, and no end. You want it on fixed. So make sure it's on fixed. Okay. We're gonna set our tension to high and our dampening to 10%. So our tension's on high, it's down here, this little slide bar, low. Look at it go crazy when you go low. Okay, we want it high. And it'll fix itself. Our dampening should be on 10, so we're going to lower it down to that first line right there. There we go. Perfect. Then it says frequency should be 1.25 and amplitude 1. All right, so we got to raise our amplitude to 1. All the way up to 1. And we're going to set this down to 1.25. You can use these little buttons here to make life easier. Okay, perfect. Wow. All right. Sorry about my kid in the background. Okay, so is this wave transverse or longitudinal? I think I just answered that for you. Is this wave a mechanical wave? I think I just answered that for you if you were listening. If you didn't listen, rewind the video. You might hear me tell you. Okay, so use the rulers. Based on the above settings, what is the wavelength? All right, little trick here. You can press pause. Okay, now we can measure the wavelength. Remember, a wavelength goes from one crest to another crest or one trough to another trough. So if I start measuring here, here's my one crest, and I go to my other crest, there's my wavelength. Okay, and then you click the appropriate number over here. Okay, do the same for amplitude. Now, amplitude's going from, if you remember, from that orange line to the top over here. So measure that and then pick the appropriate number. Now it says to change the amplitude to 0.5. So if I come back over here and I go to 0.5, now I gotta hit play, let it reset itself. Okay, and then it says, what is the wavelength now? Again, you can try to measure it while it's going. Have fun. It's like, whoa, where it's, okay. Now let's hit pause. All right, that's better. I'll move my other ruler out of the way and measure this one. Ta-da. Got your answer? Okay. And then it says only change the frequency. So leave everything else as it is. It says only change the frequency to 1.75. So that's what this one, let's put it up to 1.75. Press play. Let it reset. Don't hit pause yet. Okay, now it looks good. Let's see. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, that works. Now I can measure. You can go from trough to trough if you so wish, from the bottom to the bottom. You'll notice it's going to be the same. Okay, so totally up to you. What would you like to do? And then it says, now change the frequency to 0.85. Ooh, let's see what this does. So let's change this down to all the way down. Keep going. 0.85. I was going to have you go lower, but that doesn't work, and I'll show you why in a second. So if we do this one, let it reset. Let it reset. It'll get there. There we go. See what happened? This one's harder to do. All right. What do I measure now? Like what? This got hard, didn't it? See why I couldn't make it smaller? Like, so we're gonna have to go from here, because it looks like that's my crust over there, to this crust over here. See how long it got? Okay. If I was to go much lower, I'm just gonna show you. If I go down all the way down to like here, you're not going to be able to measure, like you don't get 2 crusts or 2 troughs at a time. So that's why I didn't have you go much slower or much lower than 0.85. So notice the smaller you make the frequency, the longer the wavelength. Hint, hint, guys, that's the critical thing I want you to get from this. All right. Yeah, see? Okay. And then lastly, answer these 2 last questions. And then hit submit, and you are all done with this assignment. Okay, if you need any help, just let me know. Good luck.